Your vegan friends championing plant-based diets might be in for a surprise when they realize that those faux burgers need more supplements than a superhero. And what's the deal with making fake meat look, smell, and taste exactly like the real deal? As we uncover the truth behind the fake meat industry, ask yourself, are we on the brink of a dietary revolution? Or are we being led down a path that's not as green as it seems? So get ready for a ride through the realms of food, science, and ethics. Veggies are great, but going full vegan? Well, that's a whole different story. First things first, being vegan means giving up meat, right? But then they're munching on faux burgers that need more supplements than a superhero. Vitamins, iron, calcium, you name it, they're popping pills. But wait, there's more. Plant protein isn't as friendly to our bodies as good old meat protein. And those fancy fake meats? They're basically high-tech science experiments, not the wholesome goodness we're led to believe. And the environmental pitch? Cows and their methane are painted as the villains, but the truth is a bit more complicated. Turns out responsible farming isn't the climate apocalypse we're warned about. But listen to this. India, with more cows than a cattle convention, isn't eating them. Mind-blowing, right? In Hinduism, the predominant religion in India, the cow is revered as a sacred symbol of life, nonviolence, and Mother Earth. Yet they contribute big time to emissions. So, the grand mission to replace all animals in our food by 2035. A bit extreme, isn't it? The idea is to transition away from traditional animal farming and replace animal-derived products with alternative, plant-based, or lab-grown options. Like, why make fake meat look, smell, and taste exactly like the real deal? And did you know a huge chunk of global land is dedicated to livestock? It's a massive deal, and animals like cows have a unique ability to eat stuff we can't. So there's this notion that all the cool kids are going vegan, chanting the plants are good, meat is bad mantra. But hold your horses, because things aren't as clear-cut as they seem. Let's start with the land, shall we? The story goes that livestock takes up a whopping 3/4 of all agricultural land. But don't forget the arable land, where you grow crops for animals and, well, us. It's not just a field of happy cows. It's a bit more complicated. And organic food? Surprise. Surprise. Those organic fertilizers often come from some animal's rear end. Not exactly the picturesque farm scene we imagine. Now let's talk water, the supposed giant footprint of cows. People claim livestock is the Godzilla of water usage and pollution. But guess what? A whopping 94% of a cow's water footprint is rainwater. Nature's gift, not the cow's fault. Jumping to health, the 80s preached low fat as the holy grail. Remember those fat-free snacks? Well, that didn't turn out too well. We're now facing an obesity epidemic, and it's not just about meat. But wait, there's more. The media loves a good headline, like meat is bad. But it's not that simple. We're told plant-based diets are the holy grail. But that might not be the full story. Vegans even have a higher risk of stroke, according to some studies. Now enter the big players, the fake meat companies. They want to replace your juicy burgers with plant-based alternatives, and guess what? It's not just for the sake of your health or the planet. It's big bucks they're after. And how about those fancy plant-based products in mainstream fast food joints? It's not just about catering to vegans, it's about appealing to the masses, the flexitarians. Remember the days when it was cool to eat one-ingredient foods? Steak, broccoli, dairy. Simple. Now we're looking at labels with a gazillion ingredients for fake meats. And they even add fake blood. Yikes. Now here's the deal. Your body knows best. Some folks thrive on a meat-centric diet, while others swear by going plant-based. Forcing a one-size-fits-all approach just doesn't cut it. Take, for instance, individuals who can't handle certain grains due to oxalates and lectins, pushing them to get sick. As a doc, telling them to tough it out doesn't make any sense. As we dig into health claims, like the idea that plant-based diets can reverse heart disease, it's crucial to recognize correlation versus causation. These studies often overlook the whole picture, conveniently missing out on factors like exercise and overall well-being. And let's not forget the cancer scare, where processed meats and high-quality options get unfairly lumped together, creating unnecessary panic. Nutrient-dense foods, once cherished by previous generations, included meat and dairy, essential for food security. However, the narrative has shifted, labeling these products as unhealthy and linking them with sugar and refined starches. The world's best diets, according to the True Health Initiative, emphasize a balanced approach, as Michael Pollan puts it. Eat food, not too much, mostly plants. Epidemiological studies are touted to support plant-based diets, but a counter-movement is emerging. Online experiments with people cutting sugars, grains, and adopting low-carb or meat and vegetable-based diets show positive results, challenging the traditional belief. The rise of eco-anxiety and climate change concerns has given momentum to agendas like the Planetary Health Diet by EAT Lancet. Walter Willett from Harvard, a key figure, has long advocated for minimal meat consumption based on health arguments. The Planetary Health Diet, claiming to be grounded in sound science, faces scrutiny for potential conflicts of interest and lack of opposing views during its dominance at the United Nations. The Lancet diet proposes a global reference diet with a focus on sustainability. However, the suggested meat consumption is minimal, with restrictions that some find impractical and unfeasible for cultural diversity. There are concerns that policy interventions may force compliance with this global eating plan, raising questions about evidence, human behavior, and cultural nuances. So there's this donor dropping billions, and surprise, surprise, a chunk of it is dedicated to the food system. Sounds like a win, right? But hold on, are they in it for the ethics, the environment, or just counting their dollars? So imagine a documentary shouting from the rooftops about vegan athletes conquering the world. But hold your veggies. The strongest man in this story isn't winning gold at the Olympics, but rather VegFest. But wait, the governor himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger, claims he's gone all in for veganism. Peek into his fridge though, and surprise, eggs and a love for steak. Turns out it's part of a movie by James Cameron pushing pea protein. Talk about a conflict of interest. Now, onto the fake meats. They're not just veggies in disguise, they're made in Chinese processing plants with monocultured crops. And beyond meat, the one pointing fingers at fast food is cozying up with McDonald's. The vegan world is becoming a bit like a sci-fi religion, complete with heresy if you dare question anything. And hold on to your veggies, because a former vegan, Lear Keith, faced attacks from her own community. Now big corporations like Unilever are hopping onto the plant-based bandwagon, eyeing billions in sales. But here's the twist. Some of this fake meat magic is cooked up by the very meat companies we're trying to avoid. Tyson Foods, the meat heavyweight, is investing in Beyond Meat. Mind-blowing, the Great Reset Initiative is not a sci-fi plot, but the real deal, according to Klaus and the World Economic Forum. They're reshaping the world, and part of it involves changing our food habits. Politicians, CEOs, academics, they're all in on it. It's a global conspiracy, or so they say. But why the urgency? The pandemic shook things up, and now there's talk of a great reset in every aspect of life. It's not just about food, it's about power, money, and shaping the future. And guess who's caught in the middle? Us. Now the diet debate rages on. Vegan advocates like Dr. Greger are pushing hard, dodging debates that challenge their narrative. Cut carbs, embrace meat, the mantra for a healthier life. But hey, it's not as sexy as a protein shake. And here's the reality check. For us to live, something has to die. It's not just about avoiding animal products. Unintentional casualties happen in crop production. Combines wreak havoc on critters, from skunks to rabbits. Even separating rice from frogs can lead to unintentional blending. But hold on, vegans have a counter-argument. Small animals might die in crop production, but it's about intention and certainty. Accidentally hitting a dog on the road isn't morally the same as intentionally pursuing and running over one. And just when you thought it couldn't get weirder, thermal hunting and snipers. To control invasive species, snipers embark on night missions, shooting defenseless animals. But here's the twist. Most of the killed pigs go to waste. In the end, the message is crystal clear. There's no free lunch whether you're on a plant-based diet or not. The unintended consequences of our actions, be it farming or food choices, are inescapable. If you found this information eye-opening and want to stay updated on the jaw-dropping truths behind various industries, hit the like button and subscribe for more intriguing content. Don't miss out on uncovering the hidden layers of the world around us.